Welcome back to the One Special Place podcast. I am your host Pratiksha Gupta, and we are in conversation with Dr. Mohita, the CEO and founder of the Cognitome program. She's a neuroscientist from Dubai, and today the topic in discussion is role of cognition in child development. Do check out our part 1 of this conversation in the 1SP podcast, season 1, episode 8. So my last question is that, you did mention in your conversation that obviously no two children are same. We know that, whether be it in physical skills or mental skills. And I think it implies to cognitive skills as well. So no two children are same. And especially we talk a lot about inclusivity these days, and we are all about fostering environments which are equal for all types of children. There should be differentiated learning systems in schools. There should be more inclusion in educational setups and in the society. So cognitive differences are inevitable, but if you can share some tips for educators and parents to create inclusive environments that can accommodate different learning styles and cognitive strengths and challenges so that children reach their full potential. I would like to know some measures that can be taken.
Yeah, certainly. Creating inclusive environment that cater to diverse learning styles and cognitive strengths is essential for ensuring each child reaches to their full potential. To its full potential. So the few strategies for educators and parents to foster inclusivity we will discuss here. First is differential instruction. Okay, for educators it is really important to customize teaching methods, materials and assessments to accommodate diverse learning styles. Moreover, by providing a range of activities that appeal to visual, auditory and kinesthetic learning, helps to deal with the varied levels of difficulties by meeting individual needs. Now for parents, advocating personalized learning plans for your child and also communicate with the teachers about your child's unique strengths and challenges. And of course, provide support and resources that align with your child's learning style. Then the next is universal design for learning. We call it as UDLs. So for educators, it is necessary to implement UDLs, by designing lessons that are flexible and accessible to all students.
Right.
So use a variety of instructional methods, provide multiple means of representation, engagement, and expression.
Right.
For parents, it is important to encourage schools to adopt UDL principles. Collaborate with the teachers to ensure that the learning materials and the methods are accessible and cater to your child's strength.
Right.
The third point is that I would like to mention here is about varied assessment methods. So for educators, using a variety of assessment methods such as projects, presentations, and written assessments would help and allow students to showcase their understanding in different ways. Avoid relying solely on standardized testing.
Right.
For parents, it is good to discuss alternative assessment methods with teachers that align with, of course, your uniqueness of your child or the strength of your child. Emphasize the importance of assessing skills and knowledge in multiple ways. And one more thing here I would like to mention is IEPs and 504 plans. IEPs means individualized education plans. For educators, collaborate with the special education teams to create IEPs that address individual needs, implement accommodations and modifications to support diverse learning styles.
Yes.
For parents, I would rather recommend that work with educators to develop and update IEPs and 504 plans that consider your child's cognitive strengths. Regularly communicate with teachers to ensure the effective implementation of these plans. And foster a growth inclusive environment. Educators should encourage a growth mindset. Really, they should encourage a growth mindset by praising effort, persistence, and the resilience.
Right.
They should create a classroom culture where mistakes are viewed as an opportunities for learning.
Right.
And parents should also reinforce a growth mindset at home, because emphasizing the importance of effort, perseverance, and learning, from challenges, that helps to encourage child to take on new challenges and explore different interests.
Right.
And peer collaboration, For educators, it is important to foster a collaborative classroom environment where students can work together and learn from one another.
Yes.
So, peer learning can provide diverse perspectives and support. For parents, it is really imperative to encourage their child, to engage in collaborative projects and activities, and also support opportunities for group work and social interactions. And then
Right.
professional development for educators. Educators should attend professional development sessions that focus on understanding diverse learning styles and cognitive strengths. I mean, they should keep updating their knowledge. So stay informed about the current research and the best practices, in inclusive education.
Right.
Then parents should also advocate for ongoing professional development for teachers on inclusive practices, share resources with educators that highlight the importance of accommodating diverse learning styles. And next point, I would say that sensory friendly environment. Educators must consider that the sensory needs of the students, and they must create environments that accommodate different sensory preferences, provide options for flexible seating and lighting as well. Parents also should advocate for the same in the classroom and work with the teachers to ensure that the learning environment supports your child's sensory needs.
Right.
And culturally responsive teaching is very important. It can be done by incorporating diverse perspectives and cultural relevance in the curriculum. Besides, recognize and celebrate the cultural backgrounds of the students to create a more inclusive learning environment.
Right.
And parents should also advocate the need for inclusive and culturally responsive curriculum. Share information about your child's cultural background with educators to ensure that it is acknowledged and respected.
Right. Right.
So the just is that to create an inclusive environment, it requires a collaborative effort between the educators, parents, and the broader community as a whole. By embracing diversity, recognizing individual strengths, and implementing inclusive practices, educators and parents can help each child thrive and reach their full potential.
Right. Right. I think that's been a very nice input and very enlightening conversation with you. Thank you so much. So I hope that parents find all these and educators find these tips and measures useful, and they will imbibe them and use them in their day-to-day working with children so that children can achieve their maximum potential. Dr. Mohita, we would like to know what the Cognitome program is. For whom have you made it? How does it help in the development and of cognition? And if you can share some insights about how many months or years have you been using it with children and adults, and what does it entail? Any case studies, any success stories? Over to you.
Thank you, Pratiksha, for asking this question. Cognitome program is basically a program meant for the cognitive rehabilitation or improvising the cognitive functions and the cognitive abilities.
Right.
And it is meant for both the professionals, the adults, the kids, the teens, for everyone. It's open for all. Though I'm focusing mainly on the anxiety and the PTSD patients who often come across with the cognitive decline because of the long-term effects of the stress as well as the drug use. So this is a very structured neuroscientific holistic evidence-based practice.
Okay.
And it includes both the manual task as well as the computer-based task, cognitive tasks, along with, as I mentioned, holistic. So along with the proper creative intelligence, development of the creative intelligence as well as the emotional intelligence. So we cater both the apart from the cognitive abilities, we cater creativity as well as the emotional intelligence.
Okay.
So it's a very structured and a hierarchical approach for different patients or the clients. And though the main aim of this program is to basically foster and to cater the cognitive abilities or the cognitive functions, but creativity and emotional intelligence are equally important because they are interlinked.
Right.
So we cannot leave the creativity and the emotional part and just focus on the cognitive part. That's why I'm mentioning it as a holistic approach.
Right.
And all the programs, all the softwares, all the tools and techniques that we are using are being used globally in the cognitive neuroscience research, and all the assessments are being used globally, neuropsychological assessments and all, for this program that we use here, we employ. And the program is based on the concept of neuroplasticity. The neuroplasticity is our brain's ability to keep on rewire itself throughout our life, making new neural connections or new synaptic connections. So, with the repetitive task or exercises that is required for some particular person, that is needed for some particular person, we devise a plan which is very customized or custom based. And it's not same for all. Even for the two anxiety patients, it's not same, because the underlying cause of the anxiety for one person A might be different and for person B might be different. Right. So it's very custom based. It's customized in a tailor made plan as per the rules, and as per the requirements of the clients. And also it has certain inclusion and exclusion criterias that I have made for the program, whom to include, whom not to include. And this program normally takes 3 months to 6 months to give the potential results.
Okay.
And I have treated many patients of anxiety and PTSD, along with the working professionals having brain fog. The post-COVID patients, they develop this the brain fog in the long term. So I have treated them, and one of the very important case study that is going to be published very soon is, it's a multi-decadal anxiety disorder case study for an adult. And the medication is almost over, and the person was taking the medication from past 30 years. So, so this was the anxiety study. The program is based on using the mindfulness based approaches as well. But here we assess the brainwave patterns first. It's not that we advise everybody to go for the meditative approaches or mindfulness based approaches. No, it's not like that. We have to assess their brainwave patterns first, and we have to see which brainwave is dominant, and accordingly we devise a plan for them to keep a balance. And we do consider the lateralization of brain function aspect in this program to have a balanced approach, balanced creativity and balanced logical thinking, and of course potentiate the cognitive abilities among the clients. So it is for everybody. It is for kids, it is for teens, it is for youngsters, it is for the working professionals, and for the patients I'm basically focusing on the anxiety as well as the PTSD cases.
Okay, great. And I hope and I wish you all the very best for further success stories with the Cognitome program. And I'm sure if anyone wants to reach out to you, they can let you are very active on LinkedIn and yes,
Twitter and website Cognitome program. You can just type Cognitome program in Dubai, and or the website www.cognitomeprogram.me, and the Cognitome LLC LinkedIn, as well as my LinkedIn profile. Anybody, the Twitter account, everybody can reach out to me through that.
Yes, and we'll leave some links below in the description box of this particular episode. And I'm sure if anyone wants to reach out to you, we'll be able to do that seamlessly. This has been a very wonderful conversation, a great afternoon spent with you, Dr. Mohita. Thank you so much for your valuable advice, your tips, and your enlightening talk on cognitive development and the role of cognition in child development. Thank you once again. Any final tips that you would like to share with our listeners and viewers?
First of all, Pratiksha, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak on this platform. And of course, the tip for the cognitive development, there are many tips that I can give, but one thing that I would like to say to the parents, to the educators, that please do not consider intelligence as the sole factor for your kids' cognitive abilities, right? And Of course, there is a set period of time among the children from birth until adolescence. But as I mentioned, and I hope that I have debunked this myth that brain keeps on rewiring throughout the life. So cognitive abilities keep on developing with enriching environment, stimulating environment, and apart from the cognition, the creativity as well as the emotional development is equally important for the overall growth of an individual. So focus on that as well.
Fantastic. That's a wonderful gold tip. Thank you so much once again. Dear listeners and viewers, thank you for joining us in this episode of the One Special Place podcast. We will be back next week with an interesting topic to talk on and a wonderful guest with to
Thank you so much for
so much, and bye bye. Take care. Bye bye.